Welcome back to another episode of Saturdays and Stories. Tonight's guest, some call the godfather of Nittany Nation. He has grown a Facebook group to over 27,000 people, and he is a diehard Penn State fan. It's Mr. Eric Harold. Thank you for coming tonight, Eric.
How you doing, Sean? Thanks for having me.
So let's get to where it all began. Where did your Penn State journey start?
Well, I was born in State College, uh, August 1973. So I like to claim a little bit of good luck for the undefeated season and Cappy's Heisman.
That's John Capoletti, our only Heisman winner in Penn State history.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Is
We should have had two more at least,
I know
but that's
Larry
neither here nor there.
Larry Johnson definitely, I believe, should have won it with.
Larry, Kajana,
Yeah,
and Saquon. I kind of blame Franklin more than Saquon, but
yeah.
whatever.
What's your earliest memory?
My earliest memory is a blue-white game, being on the field and taking a picture with the Nittany Lion. I don't know, I was being the picture I'm being held, so maybe I was 2, maybe 3 years old at the max.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how does that Nittany line compare to the one today?
It's definitely the '70s version, the
Yeah,
early '70s version for sure. He's prospered since then.
yeah. So, is there a specific game or time you look back on and you can really imagine, wow, this is my team?
Um, yeah, the first game was a pit game sometime in the '70s, and back then, we used to have a slogan with a swear word with double T, and that game that day was the only day that kids like me had a free pass to use it. So I remember it for that and for being Pitt. We hated Pitt, so I hated Pitt. But I also remember going in at halftime to get something to eat or use the bathroom and going back to the seat with my dad. I remember the Pitt players coming out of the locker room, and we were up above them, walking up the stairway, and I don't know if I looked at them or me mugged them or maybe I even said something, being cocky, and one of them looked back and it seemed like he growled at me and scared the heck out of me. So I never forgot that.
Yeah, and players back then always wore the bulky pads. They just looked like mountains when they
Uh,
were out
oh
there.
yeah, it was a mean, nasty lineman for sure.
Uh, so beyond football, with your story, how did you get involved with Penn State?
Beyond football, my granddad, he was the glass blower for the science department for decades. So even after, my mom and dad and me left State College, we always returned constantly. So that was our connection to Penn State beyond football was
Yeah.
him retiring from there.
So you've been a Penn State fan for what, 50 some years now. What keeps you
Yeah.
loyal through the ups and downs and uh
I mean, the the early 2000s were downs,
yeah.
but even then we had the Larry Johnson year, and thankfully, even though it was a bad thing, uh, the 2004 season, I was in Iraq and I missed the entire season, which was our worst season. So, although it wasn't a good, I missed the season. Of all seasons, that was the best one to miss. So, other than that, I mean, I've never gone into a year thinking we couldn't win the national championship, as frustrating as that may get over the years.
Absolutely. Is there a favorite game you've attended you look back on and could say, hey, that's the one?
Uh, attended, I remember the Nebraska game in 82. I
Mhm.
was there for that, which as a kid, it was pandemonium, it was amazing. When we pulled that game out, that was my first real that's when the passion really started, was at the aftermath of that game.
Okay. And, a moment that you'll never forget, uh, looking back, I know you mentioned, the '86, uh,
Yeah, I mean, that day was it's just like it was yesterday. When Giftopoulos caught that ball and laid down, it was crazy. It was crazy.
so I know you love to talk about, college football, so can we talk little bit about the start of Nittany Nation? Where did it come from?
With Nittany Nation, it was New Year's Eve 2013. I was in another group of another big group at the time, and the rumors of Bill O'Brien going or staying, that was the talk of the day. And the owner of that group said that he pretty much guaranteed O'Brien was staying and that he would eat crow if he was wrong. So sure enough, at midnight, O'Brien left for Houston, and at some point, I made a comment of how's that crow taste, and then the next morning, I went to go, talk about the situation, and I was kicked out of the group. So, I missed it. I wanted to talk. That was a big day for us, and I wanted to talk about it. So, I wanna say by lunchtime that day, Nittany Nation was born, and I started inviting people I knew, and it took off from there.
Did you ever imagine it would get this big?
No, never. Not even close.
So tell me about the start of it, what were the early days like in Nittany Nation?
The early days, we tried to go rule free in the beginning. That was the premise. A place where you could be yourself, blah, blah, blah. But Franklin did such a good job once he got hired. He did such a good job of bringing the excitement and intertwining social media himself. As soon as he started bringing in recruits, we started bringing in the kids that would commit. I'd reach out to them and invite them, and they'd join. And then before you knew it, their mom would join and their grandma would join. And then it became, here comes the season, and the same kid drops a ball or fumbles a ball, and all of a sudden there's 100 people yelling and screaming at the kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want grandma to hear that or mom to hear that.
Yeah.
So it turned into protecting the players after that, which kind of changed the perception of everything.
Did you what was the moment where you look back and you're like, "Wow, this has gotten bigger than I could have imagined." Is there a
Uh,
moment you think of?
yeah, it was in Ireland the day before the Franklin's first game. I think it was a pep rally. I was at work, and Penn State had their pep rally over in Ireland, and I had just happened to catch it right as soon as they posted it. So I posted it to Nittany Nation and turned back around to go back to work, and all of a sudden my phone just started dinging nonstop. And it was before it was like it had gone viral or something. And that's when it opened my eyes to how big things had gotten at that time.
And what makes this group different than other groups that you've been a part of?
Um, initially, it was bringing in the commits,
Mhm.
and then with the commits, it came the families, and I think that was what was different with us versus other groups was the families were comfortable because we were protecting their kids.
Yeah.
they felt comfortable being with us versus some of the other groups out there.
So what does it actually take to manage a group this large?
Oh, oh man, it's a
Hmm.
labor of love.
Yeah.
I mean, it's constant. I mean, I'm constantly perusing social media just to keep people engaged, keep the content coming. You know, it's gotten there's it's pretty it's built in now. You know, there's enough people that post their own things that it's I could step away if I wanted to, but I enjoy it. You know,
Yeah.
I still enjoy it myself, so it's not something I would give up.
How many hours in the day?
A day, I don't know,
Yeah.
5 probably,
Wow.
all
That's
told. I mean, I do a countdown now,
mhm.
and I've gotten to where I used to have to type it all out. I'm giving a secret here that I probably shouldn't, but I've done it so many years, I can copy and paste a lot of it
Mhm.
and schedule it. But if I don't do that, then I'm kicking myself, which thankfully I haven't forgotten it this year. I've been right on the money
Yeah.
every day. But it's sometimes it'll get to 11 o'clock. Oh, I forgot the countdown. I got to get to it. So it
D
it it takes plenty of time.
um, what are some challenges with running a group this big? I know you say
Uh,
the
uh,
protection layer, but is there any other challenges with it?
I mean, the biggest challenge is during a loss.
Yeah.
You know, during a loss, it gets
So
ugly.
the last season was probably pretty
Oh
difficult then.
man, it was excruciating to
Yeah.
say the least.
Then
Yes.
we'll get into that here in a little bit, but I want to talk more about the community first.
Right.
How did you decide on the group of moderators? Did people just offer up to help you out, or
No, I mean those are people we've had tailgate that before COVID. We were very tight knit, close. Um, I would I my road trips to state college kind of tailed off after COVID, but before then I was up there every couple of months myself. Lift for life. There was a lot of events I'd go to, and we'd all meet up, and that's where they most of them come from.
and is that would you say your favorite thing that happened because of this group?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll go up there now and run into people all over the tailgate lots, and 9 out of 10 will say, "Oh, we met so and so through Nittany Nation and thank me," and it's
Mhm.
like, well, yeah, the friendships that have been gained and people point out that it's from Nittany Nation is incredible.
Yeah. Um, I know you start a thread on game days, but it's probably complete chaos with the live chat and everything going on. Um,
Yes.
how is especially if God forbid Penn State goes behind, the comments get
Uh,
pretty rowdy in there. How do you maintain that? Do you watch it closely, or do you just kind of ignore it and let it go for the game?
no, no, I got that's man, it's multitasking
Yeah.
on game day. If I'm not at the game, then
Mm,
I'm multitasking, and like you said, hopefully with the new regime,
yeah.
we won't fall behind as like we had a tendency to do,
Absolutely.
because people first quarter and you're down
That's
7-0,
and
people start
that's
losing their minds.
that's one thing I was always wondering about. It seemed like under Franklin, the team always kind of came out flat-footed, and I never understood
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
It
Well,
doesn't matter against who. I mean, if you look at the first 3 games of last year, they were all slow starts.
I'll be honest with you, and honestly, I don't really, for some reason, don't really recall the O'Brien era
Mhm.
as far as how they started, but the Tom Bradley teams would start slow too. The Tom Bradley defenses seem to always give up a score.
Yeah.
So I don't really see Franklin as being a whole lot different than that
Yeah.
because Bradley's defenses, and I love scrap, but
Mhm.
to me, it went way before Franklin. It's kind of something that we've been doing for a while now.
And I know there's a lot of talk coming out about how they were required to do so many walkthroughs and they were all mentally drained before the game.
Yeah,
And
yep, Lance,
uh,
yeah,
Landon Tengwall has spoken on that quite a bit in the
yeah.
past few weeks, but and really ever since the change in coach. But uh, let's go back to the group for a few more questions. Because is there any posts that really stick out to you in the group that you look
Well,
forward to?
me personally, I'm a ketchup toast guy
Yeah,
because Mark Lure at our tailgates is my boy. But
yeah,
aside from that, which rubs some people, a lot of people the wrong, they don't understand the ketchup toast part. I get it. It's a weird post.
yeah,
But other than that, the John Nancy things I think post game
yeah.
that he writes is one of the best post game out there. Period. You
I
you
always
can't find a better post game synopsis than what he writes for us after every game.
I look forward after every game. Usually I'm
Yeah.
scrolling, waiting for him to post it. So that's one of my favorite things that came about from this group.
And you know the thing I appreciate, and that just happened organically on his own, and it took
Hmm.
off. But what I really appreciate about that is from him personally is even on the bad games, he'll let you know, but he does it in a way that's not
Yeah,
rude
trashing
or
the player. Yeah,
condescending. You know what I mean? And that's what I if you only knew how much I appreciate that from him, it's
yeah.
great.
Are there any other stories that stick with you from the group?
Uh man, I mean, we've like I said, COVID, and I know we're getting a ways past COVID now, but I mean, it was like that kind of put an end to a lot. Like we were a big part of Lift for Life for 3 or 4 years. I was a volunteer, and then Nittany Nation kind of started coming with me, and it became like it was, we were a part of it for several years, and it was great. It was a great summer thing that we could all get together and break bread and see the players, and the players could see us. I mean, that was I got some real fond memories of that. The blue and white tailgates, we'd have 400 strong at a couple of them,
Yeah,
you
wow.
know,
Is so let me ask you if there's a few things that you would want the group to know about you, because I'm sure I'm gonna post this in the group and some people in the group might watch. What would you want them to know about you?
about me.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
I mean, uh, I'm not Hitler to the people who have claimed that before, because
hmm,
and I'm not there to, when times get tough. I really don't want to be the one to, like, you know have
yeah,
happen what happened to me in the old group that I was in. You know,
hmm,
so I don't know. I take a loss just as hard as anybody else does.
yeah,
Trust me. I take it personal. I take it just as hard. I guess being being the owner of Nittany Nation has kind of forced me to look at it in a better light than what I
yeah,
used to as a person. I mean, I'll tell you, it, I think it was a Iowa. Rushard Casey was the quarterback. My first wife will never forget this. I used to have tickets on the 50-yard line on the second row, well, right behind the defense bench. And we were playing Iowa, and Rashard Casey threw an interception in overtime to lose the game. And I was up on that railing, you know, yelling at the players and making a
Mhm.
fool of myself. And then I happened to meet them going through the tunnel, and just so I happened to meet them getting on the blue buses. And it was an embarrassing for my people around me. It was probably pretty embarrassing. So I want people to know that I take a loss just as bad as they do.
Yeah.
But I try to keep social media. It's for the family's sake. I try to be the good egg, I guess, during the hard times.
Yeah. And I know it can get frustrating. There's
Sure,
been how many
sure.
Ohio State games that Penn State was in the lead in the past 10 years and just seemed to fall flat on their face in the fourth quarter that
Yeah, man.
it's
I mean, it's
unexplainable sometimes, but
unexplainable,
and
unexplainable.
that's
But it wasn't. It it went on. It's been going on since 1994.
yeah.
I mean, look at 99. 99 was a complete. And I don't want LeVar. Don't take it personal because he's in Nittany Nation. I see him often, but they collapsed, in that Minnesota game. So it's not just Franklin. It's happened to us
Yeah.
for a long time now.
And that's what I want to get into next is the change in regime. I believe it was a time for a change. I think things were getting sour between the parties. Uh, so with the last season and everything down, James Franklin's gone. Wish him all the best at Virginia Tech, but we're moving on to Matt Campbell. What's your thoughts on the change?
Um, I mean, I've nothing but good from Matt Campbell so far. You know,
Does the recruiting worry you at all?
the recruiting worries me tremendously right now,
Yeah,
but wins will alleviate that. You know,
yeah. And that's
I think Campbell, the team he's put together. Again, I said it earlier. I've never gone into a season I didn't think we could run the table,
mhm,
and I think we could run the table this year. And I give all credit in the world to Campbell and his staff for what they've built because in December it didn't look like we'd have a football team.
yeah,
But between who stayed and who he brought with him, I see a heck of a team combined with a weak schedule.
yeah,
So my optimism is off the charts again.
absolutely. What excites you most about? Is there a certain position group or something that Campbell brought in that excites you most about this season?
The tight ends,
Yeah, I'm excited to
I
see
hear a
Bramer.
lot of I hear Bramer all the time, and I'm over here like, I liked what I saw at Rappley
Yeah,
at the end of the year.
and
So combine the two together, and you've got a weapon.
and I think the Luke Reynolds transfer would have hurt worse if Rappleyea didn't take over for him at the
Uh,
end of the year.
yeah,
Uh,
sure,
yeah,
sure.
I think under at least under Terry Smith, Rapp kind of made himself the starter. I don't know if that
Absolutely.
had anything to do with Luke wanting to leave or you know what I mean. I don't,
Yeah,
but I think we're three deep at the tight end, and not many places.
yeah,
And
yeah. I mean, I've
from what
heard,
I'm hearing, he runs three tight end sets sometimes.
yeah. I've heard Gabe Burkle, who's still injured. I hear some people have said he's better than the other guy they
Oh,
brought in.
geez.
So I mean, nobody's really seen him yet either. But hey, we're turning into tight end university as far as I'm concerned.
Well, all those extra tight ends should be able to help them to run the ball.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's another core I'm excited about. What are your thoughts on the transfers there? We got two transfers and we have Quentin Martin. So
I mean, look at the running backs look as strong as ever.
yeah,
I like them all. Peoples, what I've seen from him in clips, looks like a
Mhm.
beast. Um, Hanson
Yep.
looks like a durable, give you the tough yards back. And Quentin Martin at the Pinstripe Bowl, he was the starter as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And you know, Cam is he's kind of the forgotten man, but
Yeah.
he's the one who did the hurdle. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he
Yep.
did the Saquon hurdle a year or two ago.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
don't
it's a
sleep on him either.
is there any other position groups or players that people should keep their eye on?
Well, Terry Smith has his defensive backfield as strong as ever.
Mhm.
I like Marcus Neal. I'm anxious to see what he does coming from Iowa State. I like the linebackers.
Yeah.
I think we've got a good mix of linebackers that, uh, you know, I'm
Yeah,
excited to be honest with
we
you.
got Rojas back, and you got
Man,
LeVar the second on the edge too, and I think he's
yeah.
poised to have a big year this year. So,
Well, early talk is Caleb Bacon,
mhm.
who was their starting Mike linebacker in Iowa State, has been working at defensive end.
Oh,
So that's to me, I don't they haven't really officially changed his position yet, but that's some big
could be
news if they
exciting.
do. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I know you said that you expect us to run the table, but realistically, with this schedule, uh, where would you be happy with? Would it be 9-3, 8-4? What would you be happy with for this transition year?
Um, I mean, you've got to have 10 wins, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you
I mean, anything less is less than what we were getting
yeah.
year in
I
and year out. Now, I don't count the COVID year or maybe even the year after. I'll give Franklin slack on that, but he consistently got us double digit wins every year.
Mhm.
So anything less is 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 a loss as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. So 10-2 is where you're happy then,
If
if
we
not
had
better.
Ohio State, if we had a harder schedule, if we had, maybe an Auburn in September and Ohio State, I'd
Or
give it a little
Oregon
more
or
slack.
Indiana. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'd give it a little more leeway, but given the schedule and who I feel like he's put together, I mean 10 wins, anything less is a loss to me.
Is there a certain game like last year, the turning point was the Oregon game. What's the game this year that would be the turning point? Would it be USC whiteout in week 5?
Well, honestly, I'm a
Or
little anxious about Temple.
uh,
I'm
um
a little I'd like to see what we do, how we handle Temple in Philly.
was that 2014 where they just beat
Yes.
the crap out of Penn
Oh,
State?
man. And Temple doesn't have the team they had then. It shouldn't happen, but I guess because I was there and it was
Yeah,
just a jaw-dropping defeat that those of us that were there just couldn't fathom watching. I
yeah.
my eyes are set on Temple right now. We gotta get through them first before anything else.
I'm really looking forward to the Marshall game just to see how things work themselves out, and then I'll think I'll be more
Yeah, yeah.
comfortable after that. But
Yeah. Yep,
it's
yep, yep.
so I'm going to go into a little rapid fire segment. You tell me uh
Alright.
first thing that comes to your mind. Who's your favorite player
Ever?
ever?
Man, ever.
You can give me a top three if you need to
Alright, I'll go Marty,
for obvious
Arrington
reasons. Yeah,
for obvious reasons, LeVar, and Saquon.
yeah. That's a you can't go wrong with any of those three. I mean,
No, no.
it's
Uh-uh.
I got to meet LeVar in Iowa whenever we were at the game Sean Clifford got hurt. I was at that game
Uh-huh.
when they were 2 and we were 3 or vice versa, and he got hurt, and
Yeah.
then we could not score point afterwards. It was a
Terrible.
rough one to beat. uh,
Yeah, yeah.
have you been on any road trips to away games?
Well, I mean, we played not really, not like I'd
Yeah.
want to. I mean, when I was a kid, my dad surprised me. I lived in Rhode Island for a while, and
Mm,
we were going on a hunting trip supposedly, and we ended up going to the Boston College game. He surprised me, which was great.
that's
Uh,
awesome.
I remember Trey Bauer. So it was, I don't know, 80, 87 maybe, 88. And then I was at the Virginia game with Stan Ficken,
Oh boy.
missed all those field goals, which was just heartbreaking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was. I'm sure a lot of Penn State fans know exactly where they were during that game because it was just like,
Well, yes, but I also remember afterwards, as heartbreaking as that was, and after the game, it was raining like n no nothing else. It was just pouring down, and I decided to just go ahead and walk and get drenched. What worse could happen? But I felt good about us after that game, and I'll never forget that. It was as heartbreaking as it was like, "All right, well, we fought. We shoulda won, so
yeah.
maybe we won't fall apart. Maybe we won't completely just lay down and die," you know? So I
Yeah.
remember feeling good about us afterwards.
Okay. So, uh, what's your favorite Penn State tradition?
Tradition? I mean, Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
I was at the gym with my kids tonight, and Sweet Caroline came on, and automatically, you do the pom pom for
Mhm.
all 3 of us in the middle of the gym, and it's like, oh, well, that's nobody in the gym understood that but us, but we
Mhm.
understood it.
Oh yeah.
That's one. That's one, and on the tailgates, the brown lot, the toast they do in the brown lot, I can't think of it now. There's a name they call it, but there's a toast they do in the brown lot that's just incredible. On the hour, every hour they do it.
Huh. Very cool. Whenever you travel into state colleges, do you have a favorite place to eat on campus?
Um, not so much eat,
Mhm.
not so much eat. I mean, it's kind of fly by night when we're up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Stay in
mean,
the tailgates.
as a kid, grandma always took me to the tavern. That was me and grandma's thing with the tavern. So
Mhm.
that's I haven't been to the tavern in 15 years maybe, but as a kid, I always cherished my trips to the tavern.
Yeah. Is there could you give me, one word to describe Penn State fans?
Fanatical. Eh,
It's a good word.
fanatical.
Uh,
Yeah.
so, I got one last question for you. But first I wanna say, if you enjoy this, go look up Nittany Nation on Facebook. It's pretty easy to find. Join the group, get involved. There's a lot of good, posts daily in there from history to the things I think to even the ketchup toast on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
Be sure to check it out. Uh, but let me ask you one final thing to finish. When it's all said and done, what do you hope people remember about Nittany Nation and your role in bringing Penn State fans together?
Uh, just that we were a fun place to socialize and interact and bleed blue and white together.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
you have anything else to add, sir?
No, man, I appreciate you having me. It's been fun.
I appreciate it. I think this will be out right before the season kicks off, so it'll give everyone some insight into you and Nittany Nation, and that's all I got for you. So thank you very much. We'll see you
All
next
right.
Saturday.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, Sean. Thank you.